Hey, Eagles, it's Thursday, and welcome back to the story with me. Thanks for hanging in there for so long. We are getting close to the end, actually. And what we read about yesterday was, well, Fido is just showing more and more cool skills. I think my favorite image in my head is him jumping up and catching a frisbee in his little rodent teeth. Oh, I guess it's a girl. Sorry. In her little rodent teeth. I'm also super curious, did any of you play with anagrams yesterday? I'd love to see them. If you want to take pictures or send me any messages on Class Dojo, I'd love that. And for now, we're going to find out what happens after, well, Lorena came and his mom made such a big fuss about having a friend in the house. And surprise, surprise, his dad doesn't want to give away the guinea pig anymore. So it seems like life is getting pretty topsy-turvy for what Rufus is experiencing. So let's find out what happens today. Sit back, relax, and enjoy.
I was tired of living in that freak house. I wanted to live in a normal house. A normal house was a house where the dad liked dogs. The dad left the house when he went to work instead of staying home all day wearing a suit and fuzzy slippers. The dad didn't go on and on about his homemade salad dressings. The mom knew the difference between dogs and South American rodents. The mom didn't wallpaper the ceilings. The dad didn't put a guinea pig in his son's treehouse. A guinea pig slept in a cage on the daughter's dresser, not at the foot of the son's bed. The son played fetch, tug-of-war, and frisbee with his dog. Strange girls paying uninvited visits were not encouraged by the mom. But, of course, there was nothing I could do about it. Kids can't pick up and move. They can't choose where they want to live or who they want to live with. They can't really choose anything. Everything requires permission. We're giving choices, options. These are your options. That is not an option. A dog is not an option. A guinea pig is an option. You also have the option of a gecko. I asked my mom if I could go over to Murph's and see what she was up to. She said it was okay with her if it was okay with Dad. Dad said it was okay if I was done with my chores. I wasn't. So I did them. I carried the dirty clothes to the laundry room. I emptied the dishwasher. I took the garbage out. It was exhausting. Let me make a correction. Everything requires permission and slave labor. I put Fido inside my backpack, hopped on my bike, and took off, my muscles aching from all the work. While I was doing my chores, Mom sewed up the hole Fido made in my bag, then reinforced the bottom with a piece of suede. I figured I'd bring Fido along for 3 reasons. Because Dad needed to get some work done before we could go to the river, because Murph liked her, because Buddy did, too. My idea was that the 4 of us, Murph, Buddy, me, and Fido, would ride way out past the field around the electrical substation to the woods and go dirt biking. There's a lot of wicked dips and curves and stuff there. I like it better than the skate park, and really nobody goes there but me and Murph. When I got to his house, I knocked on the door, something, by the way, that Murph's dad has never had a problem with. His mom answered. "Hi, Rufus," she said with a nice smile. "It's so good to see you. Come on in. Murph's up in his room." "Thanks," I said. That's what I meant when I said normal. It was okay to knock on the door. The mom answers and lets you in without a lot of embarrassing talk. The house was normal too. It wasn't a mess, but it wasn't super clean like ours always had to be. It looked like people actually lived in it and touched things and stuff. There was a little TV in the kitchen and a big one with a flat screen in the living room, which was usually on even if no one was watching it. Our living room TV was an old box set that we kept in the closet and rolled out on a cart for family viewing time. Honest. I walked up the stairs and past Murph's little sister's room. AG was sitting on the floor reading a book, and I noticed she had socks on her hands. "Stay back," she said. "I have pox." "I already had chicken pox," I said. "So did I. This isn't chicken pox. I believe it's turkey pox, but no one will back me up. The socks are so I won't scratch." "Have you had turkey pox?" "Yes," I lied, and walked on. Annoying little sisters are normal too, I guess, but AG was spoiling my dream house. Murph's door was closed. I opened it quietly and peeked in. He was in his room sitting at his desk writing. His desk was this really cool tilted drawing table with a lamp clamped to it. His walls were wallpapered too, but with pictures he cut out of magazines and newspapers and printed off the internet. Pictures he put up himself, that is. His room was never messy because his mom cleaned it every day. She didn't have a job outside the house. She stayed home and took care of her house and kids. Murph's dad was a foot doctor, so he worked at a doctor's office and at the hospital and made tons of money. He had a workshop in the backyard with power tools and drove a Jeep, not a hybrid, and he had one of those cool ninja motorcycles. His mom drove a silver minivan. This was Normal House, USA. "Sup?" I asked. Murph jumped a little, then shot a quick glance over his shoulder. He flipped whatever it was that he was writing, then whipped around, a big fake grin on his face. Something was wrong. "Why, hello, Rufus, old chum," he said with a pretty lame British accent. "Thanks for popping by." "What's wrong?" "Wrong? Why, whatever are you nattering on about, mate?" "What's that you were writing?" Mischief flashed in his eyes. You really had to know him like I did to see it, and he suddenly gave up both the British accent and the chipper act. "There's no hiding anything from you, is there?" he said glumly. "It's well, Roof, it's my last will and testament." "So you're dying?" He pretended to be overcome with emotion, then shielded his eyes with his arm. His chin quivered. Oh, he was good. It was a total crock, of course. Not one of his better crocks either. I mean, his mom was smiling when she let me in. "Dude," I said with lots of fake sympathy, "what is it? What have you got? Or what's got you, that is." I had high expectations. Murph was no slouch when it came to making stuff up. He said, then broke off coughing. "Anastossicus." I shook my head. "What's that?" "The ducks, Dad. The ducks at the lake, surely you remember." "The poisonous ones?" He nodded. "Did you attack one?" "Accidentally." "How does that happen exactly?" "I rode my board into a flock of them. They were sleeping on the path. I didn't see them. Whammo! Quack, quack, quack. Envenomization." Oh dear, I said, shaking my head with fake concern. "I should go down and offer your mom my condolences." "No," he said, reaching out a hand to stop me. She doesn't know yet. I just can't bring myself to tell her she does love me so." He set his hand on my shoulder and stared deeply into my eyes. And if I didn't know him the way I did, I probably would have believed he was scared and sick and worried that his poor mom would be grief-stricken. He's that good an actor. Buddy strolled in then, and right away sniffed out Fido in my bag. "Have you got your guinea pig in there?" Murph asked, cheering up. "Take her out." I obeyed, and while he and Buddy were fooling around with her, I snatched Murphy's piece of paper. It was not a will, of course. It was just a math handout from school. "Hey, hand that over," Murphy said when he saw what I was doing. He made a grab for it. I held it out of reach. Buddy barked at me. Fido barked at Buddy. "Go with the other room, Buddy," Murph said. Buddy obeyed. Such a good dog. Fido followed after him. "Be good," I called after her. Murph gave me a strange look. "It's not a will, Murph," I said. "It's homework." He shrugged. "What are you doing inside on a Saturday morning doing math, Murph?" He shrugged again. Like I said, we shrugged a lot lately. "This is old math homework, dude," I said. "Like months ago homework. Why are you doing it now? And don't you dare shrug again." "Miss Sharp lost tonight, so I've got to redo it," he said. "No way." "Way. She can't do that. It's her fault." "You tell her that." I squinted at him. This was more acting. "Tell me what's going on, dude," I said. "I mean, are we friends or what?" "Of course we're friends. What a question." I gave him the stony stare. I wasn't putting up with any more of his goofing around. "Why so serious, Roof?" Stony stare. "Right, fine, I'm flunking. Happy?" Flunking? The word didn't make any sense coming out of Murph Malloy's mouth. Flunking what? "What do you think, smart guy?" I shrugged. "Math?" "Try again." I shrugged again. "Try the 5th grade." Yeah, right. He's always joking. "I'm not joking this time." I squinted at him. If he was acting his heart out. No giveaway gestures or sounds. He looked dead serious. That's the problem, isn't it, Mr. Boy Who Cried Wolf, I said. It's hard to tell when you're serious because you joke around so much. He's not joking. This was his mom. She was standing in the doorway behind me. I guess she was eavesdropping. Parents live to eavesdrop. He just won't do his work, nor can he seem to ever get to school on time. That's Ruth's fault, Murph said, nudging me with his shoulder. I started to object, but his mom groaned, so I knew I didn't need to. I believe it's the other way around, she said. I tell ya, he's a bad influence, Ma, Murph said. I was a good kid till he came along, him and his rodent. You met Rufus in kindergarten, Smurf. You're lucky to have him. No telling what kind of trouble you'd be in if he didn't keep an eye on you. Me? Keep an eye on Murph? Everybody does that. Everybody just watches him and laughs and admires and gives him free passes. Not anymore, I guess. You've got it all wrong, Ma. He always makes me late with his fooling around, and he steals my homework, too. He's a bad kid, Ma. Real bad. A juvenile delinquent. He started to laugh. With a guinea pig. He lost it. I didn't think he was being particularly funny. His mom reached out and pinched his arm. Ow! He howled. That's child abuse. Ruth, you're a witness. You think you can laugh your way out of anything, but I don't think you'll laugh when you end up repeating 5th grade. She wasn't kidding around. You'll do yourself a big favor to stop joking around and take a page out of Ruth's book. He's a good, solid student and a true blue friend. You could learn a lot from him. What? Was she nuts? One day in our classroom would have changed her mind about that. You're right, Ma, Murph said. Rufus, will you be my mentor? His mom groaned again, then smiled, then giggled despite herself. Cute guinea pig, Ruth, she said. I like the hairdo. And she left the room. Yet another free pass for the Smurf. Did you bike here or board? Murph asked. Bike. Cool-a-roadie. Let's ride. Don't you have to stay here and do homework? Nah, totally optional. You sure? Positively. Summon the hounds. Stony stare. You know I don't have a... Okay, the hound and the hog. Chapter 18. I had no idea guinea pigs could run so fast. Fido kept up with Buddy. She kept up with my bike. And I didn't take it easy on her either. I pedaled as fast as I could. I'm telling you, Ruth, Murph yelled. She's the coolest thing on 4 legs. I shrugged, but I was grinning, ear to ear. We dumped our bikes in the substation field and played with the dogs. You know what I mean. We played fetch, then frisbee, then we just let them run around together and hang out and stuff. It was obvious they really liked each other, which was so great. It was what I always dreamed of, minus the guinea pig part. If Fido had been a golden retriever, it would have been a total paradise. I wasn't complaining, though. It was as close to total paradise as I've ever gotten. Let's bike the trails, Murph said. Yeah, let's do that, I said. Total Paradise 2.0. We climbed on our bikes and rode for the woods. Buddy and Fido tore after us. Murph slammed on the brakes and skidded in the grass, so I did the same. I wiped out in the grass. Not so cool. Stay, Murph commanded to Buddy, and he stopped in his tracks. What a dog. Stay, I commanded to Fido, and she froze. What a pig! Nice, Murph said. You trained her? Yeah, I lied. I don't know why. Sometimes it's just easy. Sometimes it's just fun. I should probably think about quitting, though. I mean, I know I should tell the truth, blah, blah, blah. Sweet, Murph said. You know what I've been thinking? You wouldn't want to trade, would you? Trade? Yeah. Trade what? Fido for Buddy. I've never fainted before, so I'm not exactly sure how it feels, but I think I almost fainted. Shut up, I said. He shrugged. You're totally joking. I mean, he had to be. You could never tell with me, he said with a smirk. I squinted at him. Was he joking? Of course he was. Wasn't he? What if he wasn't? What would I do? Think about it, he said. For now, let's BMX. He rode off. I pedaled after him. Buddy and Fido whined a little, but then they went back to their playing. Murph and I rode hard. We screamed into the ditches and caught tons of air when we came back up the other sides, which was fun. Usually we yelled out some monster yell when we lifted off, like, "Yarg!" We both wiped out a bunch of times, which was also fun. We got real sweaty and dirty and scratched up and had like the best time of our entire lives. Then we rode back on the field and dumped our bikes and fell on our backs in the grass, laughing our guts out and gasping for breath. Buddy and Fido ran over and mauled us, and we rolled around in the grass with them and got all grass-stained and itchy and slobbery, and I understood right then and there what life was for. When we couldn't take any more pawing and licking, we started throwing things for them to fetch, and the two of them raced after the stuff like they weren't tired in the slightest bit. Dogs are great. They're gods. Anagrammed, anyway. I wondered what guinea pig's anagrammed was. I started working on it in my head, but that made me think of Lorena. Lorena was looking for us. Lorena finding us. Lorena ruining paradise. I hated Lorena. Why do you like girls? I asked Murph. He laughed. You don't? No. If there was a girl here, she'd wreck everything. Girls don't understand stuff like this. Some of them do. There are all kinds of girls, Ruth, and all kinds of guys. That's true. Like Dimitri. He laughed again. Yeah. Do you like Dimitri? Like is such a strong word. Again, he laughed. Laugh, laugh, laugh. What a happy guy. I don't think it matters much if a kid is a guy or a girl, he says. It just matters what's on the inside? I said in a deep teacher-like voice. He couldn't be serious with this cornball stuff. Look at Fido, he said, pointing. I looked. She was fighting over a stick with Buddy and growling like a bulldog. You can't judge a book by its cover, etc., etc., Murph said. Exactly, I thought. Here he was, my idol, the guy with the perfect dog, the normal house, and the great parents, and he was flunking. And he wanted to trade his perfect dog for a guinea pig with a mohawk. Was no one what they seemed? Maybe Dimitri was different too. Inside. And Lorena. I was different than what the kids at school thought I was. I wasn't sure what they thought I was, but chances were they didn't really know who I was, mostly because I hid who I was, so they wouldn't laugh at me. Maybe other kids did that too. Was that why Murph had so many friends? Did he somehow understand better than other people that nobody was what they showed on the outside, that everybody has good stuff on the inside, but a lot of it got all twisted up on the way out because people were trying to be cool and popular? It's not as if Murph didn't care about being cool or popular. He sure liked the attention. He liked it so much he didn't care who paid it to him. It made him happy. And people like happy people. Now he was in trouble, bad trouble, which had to make him sad, and he was hiding it. Why? Maybe he was afraid people wouldn't like him as much as if he wasn't happy. I didn't want to spoil our fun by bringing all this up, but as his friend, I thought I should. You're going to have to work hard to catch up in school. He nodded. You're going to help me, right? He seemed serious, which was suspicious. I nodded. Sure. Yeah, of course. He grinned. Cool. I don't want to repeat. That would mean we wouldn't be in the same grade next year, which would make me cry. I smiled. Yeah, it totally would. Totally, he said with a laugh. Then he punched me in the shoulder. I punched him back. Then Buddy and Fido saw us punching each other and ran over and piled on top of us. Total paradise 3.0.